Alright, quick video to show you guys how this floating chamber actually works. So you can see it looks, pretty from every angle like it's floating. And even from, the back, you can just kind of see the ball through the slits. So on this one, top and bottom, we've got these little sub-miniature LED assemblies. They house a T1.25 LED, which is a 4mm LED. It's a really weird size. I got them from Radio Shack and then turned the tops of them down, and then they're just kind of screwed on here, just bolted on. So anyway, let's show you how it works. So here's the Holocron, and what you do is you want to take this out. This one's obviously not glued in for prototype testing. We're using a piece of rubber in there. So what it is the Holocron has a stem on it, and what you're going to want to do in the actual, physical model when you do it is you're going to take this stem, and then in the back here, there's this piece of rubber. Let me see if I can pop that out. This prototype, we made the hole in the back too small, so that's been fixed in the updated model to match the stem. So I took an end mill and milled that down, but in the finished model, you won't have to do that. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this stem, and you're basically going to get Loctite glass glue. It's a super glue that's rated for glass to metal specifically, and you're going to put that, in there, hold it in place, let it dry. Now these pieces, this is a mod to the chamber. These holes originally are meant to friction fit a 5mm LED. So if you just want to, put a 5mm LED on top and, light your crystal that way, you can certainly do that. See if I can get this out now. All right, let's try the other one. You can just put a 5mm LED top or bottom and it'll friction fit in the hole and light things up. These were just kind of a mod to give it a cool look. Like there was, some more components to it, and all I had to do to make these fit was drill out the top 5mm hole with a #1 drill bit, and then these slide right through, and then you can screw them on, and you can see what the sub-miniature LED assembly looks like, and that just goes into here, which is basically just a bezel for the LED to sit in. And like I said, I just turned it down a little bit on the top here, gave it kind of a bezeled angle. Exposed the brass underneath the chrome plating, and you can see the hole patterns here. So you got the hole patterns here for the to match 440 rod placement on either the custom Saber Shop chassis discs, and this will also line up with the stuff from Goth 3 Designs in the 1.24 diameter section. So this is meant to go inside of a 1.25 inside diameter piece, which is custom Saber Shop main bodies, a couple other, builders out there at the 1.25, but this is definitely 1.24. So if you have a Saber Forge or, 1.10, 1.14 inside diameter, this is not going to fit. And then on the inside here, this is going to be a 1/4 inch. So this will actually be this, and then a small ring of metal around it. And that's what you're going to mount your Holocron to. And then once it's glued in there, it should be pretty good. You're not going to be able to do any probably super hard dueling with it. Maybe you will. We haven't really tested that yet. But as of right now, we're just recommending that, this is something that you're not going to use for dueling. Once we get one in there, we get it glued in a Saber, and we can beat it around a bit, we might be able to say, oh, yeah, it'll stay in there through some pretty decent shock. But for now, that's it. So this part will be available on Shapeways, identical to this. The same exact look, except for the back here where you can see the milled out spot that receives the stem on the Holocron. That's going to be nice and clean and the correct size from Shapeways. On our original model, we had somehow left that at 1/8 of an inch versus 1/4 of an inch. So it'll be just like that. And if you look at the model in the Shapeways, which I'll link in this post, you'll be able to see exactly what it's going to look like. But everything is identical except for this. And again, these holes to receive these sub-miniature LED assemblies have to be bored out. We're going to leave them at 5mm though, so if you just want to use a 5mm LED, you can do that. You won't have to. You won't be bound to do this, because now a 5mm LED will slip right through here. And if I can get one of these out, I just want to show you real quick what the Holocron looks like on its own in there. So yeah, and then the Holocron, basically you just glue it right in there, hold it in place so it's centered, and that's what you'd be looking at, for your build. So that's how it works, guys. No magic involved, just a little glass stem and some glass super glue and floating Holocron. So take a look at Noah Drew's page for Holocrons. You're going to have to contact him to get these. If you want the floating Holocron, make sure that you mention that, because obviously it has to be manufactured with the stem on it. And then I will link these to the Shapeways shop. It's going to say first try on these probably, because I just ordered the first one that has the revised hole size in the back. But again, this is an identical model that we just printed successfully, so should be no problems with it at all. It's available in plastic, and it's available in all the variations of steel. We didn't put all the precious metal stuff on there. Platinum's on there. So if you want to spend 20 grand on a crystal chamber, go ahead and do that. We'll make your Holocron for free. All right, thanks for looking, guys. Bye.